right.
Perfect reference there. Hey, now listen, did I hear some rumble that Brother Sandler sent out Maseratis to the cast of Grown Ups? Did you reap the benefit?
First of all, let me just say one thing. Nothing's better than Nancy Pelosi Augustus reference.
Pelosi is Augustus.
I'm still swooning over that one. Yeah, Sandler gave Maseratis to Spade, Schneider, Kevin James, Chris Rock, all of whom need one, by the way. Very bad.
Exactly. What'd you get?
No bitterness, but me and Norm Mcdonald, yeah, we're splitting a zip car.
And you split a zip car with Norm. It's like having one of those, those Christmas trees the drivers have that smells like North Slope Sensimilla.
Yeah, this car. I don't know. They must have been smoking pot in here or something.
Norm cancels on us once every 2 weeks, and I almost enjoy it more than him showing up at this point, because he always wants me to talk to some ventriloquist puppet that he says is on the phone. A Holocaust tonight. What has happened to Norman?
And then when he sees you, he's going to go, how come you never have me on your show? Well, we tried to get you on. What?
Nobody funnier, though. I mean, you got to give it to him.
Nobody funnier.
That guy, if I'm in a room with him for 10 minutes, they got to put the paddles on me because I flatline from laughing.
He really is.
You know who I learned a little bit about that was Norm. And of course, Norm's a little crazy. But Norm, a big host would come and we'd all get all hopped up. Like, okay, Rosie's going to bring in big ratings. Let's get our AP. Where's my goat? I'm going to throw out a goat. And Norm would sit there in the pitch meeting. We'd all be dead serious. Will would throw out, I'm going to do a cheerleader.
Right.
This one and that. And Norm would be like, yeah, I got a sketch where, you're going in your pants, and you're just walking around, and you're like, yeah, I'm the guy with the in my pants, Like, this guy, and you look at him like he was nuts, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Norm knew exactly. Listen, one of the single funniest things I've ever seen in my life is when he did Letterman, how quickly he would throw the sport coat off at the end of the sketch. Nothing made me laugh harder than Norm. Doing Letterman, and I said to him, what's with the sport? You know how Letterman, how ill at ease he is with show business. Yeah. Norm said, that's all I had at the beginning. The essence of it was his discomfort. I said, this guy's a freaking genius. That is such
a genius. He would warm up the crowd. Now, when I would warm up the crowd, I would warm it up like I was playing the garden, and I wanted to teach everyone a lesson. If I'm cut from tonight, I want you to know I should have been on.
That I was a badass.
Yeah, I'd warm up the crowd, kill. Norm would go up behind me, and he'd go, hey, Jim Brewer and these guys, he's got all these great impressions, So I said, well, I better learn some impressions. So, are you guys all ready? This is my newest impression of these, and I love it. Because here's Ed Sullivan. And I'm like, he's really going to do Ed Sullivan? Like, why would you? He goes, Ed Sullivan introducing the Beatles. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beatles. Well, I got to work on that one a little bit. I see you during the show.
He's got a little Andy Kaufman in him, Norm. He likes to frustrate, titillate a little, but then periodically he'll say something like, I feel sorry for the homeless guy's dog, because the dog's thinking, this is the longest walk I've ever been on. Norm's hosting a sports show now, Jimbo, on Comedy Central.
Oh, that's dangerous. You and I both know that can be very.
Yeah, but that is a panel I volunteer for because I want to be in the blast site of that when that goes off because that is going to be a hoot.
Okay, I'm not a big believer in that. Dreams are for 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
Chase it for a few years. If it didn't work out, find out something you can do for a living. So we happen to be 21, and you and I were faxing jokes to Norm Mcdonald, week in and week out, never got anything on, and we didn't even get bitter. We were just the fact that we had a fax number going to SNL, we were overjoyed. So it turns out, 20 years later, Mike's phone rings one day. It's Norm Mcdonald, the guy that we had been trying to, and now he's approaching Mike about possibly working on this new show that he's got.
No, it's great. And listen, just to be affiliated, whatever, just to be able, like, I hung out with him all day today. He's just amazing. He's amazing, and he's truly crazy funny, crazy funny.
Yeah, he is,
and super smart.
Does he still not have a driver's license?
Yeah, no, he has to be driven everywhere.
What? I mean, that's his whole life. He's from Canada, never had a driver's license.
Yeah. So he's just filthy rich from the Saturday Night Live days?
No, I
don't
lot
think
of
he'd say that. Places that are filthy rich. I want to give a couple beyond. My mission tonight, which I laid out for myself, Norm Mcdonald, as I'm sure you've listened to the podcast from Monday, came on, and I challenged myself and Norm. I said, let's write a joke right now, and I will open my set with it. It will be the first joke that I do. I will not practice it on stage first. This is my belief in Norm Mcdonald, who I can't think of more than one or two people that I would put in the category of intelligent, quick, original. I mean, the guy is brilliant, and I was so pumped up after interviewing him on Monday. I was up half the night. I don't get like that, but the guy was like a hero to me coming up. He was a huge influence on the tone of my comedy and not giving a shit about the audience and doing stuff to make yourself laugh and trying to be original. And I've just he's one of these guys that's done everything wrong and it works out. Chronic gambler, can't even drive a car. He's really out there, and yet he just is so on it. He's so on point, everything he says. So anyway, this if you listen. He's not going to be available till November because he's going to be busy on this show you guys
we tape it November 17th.
Okay, so after the 17th we'll be on. Okay. How's that coming along? How is it working with Norm Mcdonald? I could ask the same thing of Sam Simon. I'll ask you first.
It's amazing. I'm biased. We're huge. He was sort of a comedy hero of mine. But the stories, right now we're in the very great stage of a show, which is we're wasting a lot of time because it's early. Yeah. We can't really delve into topical jokes. They won't make sense then. So we're feeling each other out kind of and telling a lot of stories. And he is an endless story machine, as Sam can probably attest.
On the Norm show...
Now, this is going back, 12, 15 years?
I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was like 10 years ago.
No, because Artie was on the show for over 10 years, and he was on the show after the sitcom, the Norm sitcom.
The Norm sitcom, that's what I'm talking about.
So this was, the Norm sitcom was
at
least
10 years ago, really?
12 years ago?
I don't know, but hanging out in Norm's trailer with Norm and Artie and the other people was probably the happiest thing in the world.
I could be there all day. I just left there.
And by the way, just a quick aside, how hard do people fight and dream to get out of living in trailers, also that the greatest memories you have in your life are in a trailer? So, but the stories, is it name dropping, or there just happen to be big names in the stories?
Well, he used to treat Artie as kind of a stooge.
Really?
Yeah, and then Artie became really big and famous. But they had done a movie together, and they had some experiences together.
Dirty Work, was it?
At Dirty Work, and a lot of gambling stuff, and a lot of sports. And, Norm is really, a lot of it's just real extreme, but it's
kind of a race to the bottom when you got people like that hanging out together.
And it doesn't matter if there's big names to drop. Some of them do have big names in them, but that's not it at all. He told the story today about, he told two stories about, uncles that were just amazing, and you're captivated, and he knows how to tell a great story.
It's very hard to tell one of his stories.
It's incredibly hard.
Yeah.
This is a story he doesn't tell. I was his guest writer when he came back and hosted Saturday Night Live, and he was really, he was making the money from the show, and his sports gambling had really kicked in a very negative way.
Why are you whispering?
So everyone will hear him.
People in the podcast can't hear it. Norm bet the entire National Hockey League schedule. I think he bet $10,000 a game. And he bet that every game would go over. I don't know what kind of system
over.
That is.
You mean over the under
the number of goals? They have like totals on that.
Yeah.
And you would think like hosting a live show, you'd have like a little rush going on, and the games started when the show.
So there's 7, 8, 10 hockey games going. He's bet the over
I
on
think
all
there
of them.
were 12, and he went 1-11. Oh. And the whole time they're doing the show, Norm Mcdonald. This was an AOL. The only way you could get the score update was just like you kept hitting refresh on AOL. And he was just in his dressing room. The whole Norm Mcdonald, come to makeup. Norm Mcdonald. And he's going like, God damn it, those fucking Red Wings.
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
There's a story that involves you. When he was on Millionaire, he's going through it, and he had 3 lifelines, I guess. Celebrity Millionaire, he went the furthest. He went to the $1 million question.
We had the answer to.
So he would answer, I think it's B, and he'd get a look from Regis, and he'd be like, what? And he's like, do you want to use a lifeline, Norm? And he's like, all right, I guess I want to use that. And each time, I guess, the lifeline confirmed, and one of them was Sam.
How many times have you been a lifeline for somebody?
3.
3 different people?
No, but anyway, I'll just abbreviate it. He had a wager during that, so Regis...
I cut your story off. I apologize.
No worries. So they would go out in between, and Regis and Norm, and it was a tense game, Regis's favorite team, and Norm had money on it, and Regis like, that's not healthy. And then they go back out. But the very funny thing about the story with Norm on is... every time, like, he would kind of give him a look. So he'd burn a lifeline. It comes to the $1 million question. He remembers that he told me the other day, and he knew the answer, and Regis gave him the big look. And so anyway, afterwards, he goes to Regis, what were you doing? He kind of gave you gave me the look. Did you know it was not the right answer? And Regis is like, no, they don't give me the answers. So the whole time, he's like, it was just for charity, and you look like you answered so quickly.
He made Norm nervous.
Yeah.
So Norm, like when he called the one that he asked us, which I think was Surratt or something, I don't know what it was, but he goes, it was about a constellation. He was the North Star. He goes, yeah, I know. That's what, what I heard on the phone. And it's like, and I know Norm would know that, but then the $1 million question, everyone in the room, we were on speaker at that point.
Yeah.
So everyone knew the answer.
Yeah, it wasn't
I think it was Greenbrier Country Club was the answer.
Yeah,
to that
it's not always the hardest question. It's just a matter if you have the balls to stick it out.
But if he hadn't used his lifeline, he could have called us.
Yeah.